Well, isn't this fun? I'm Diane at Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, and I thought I would go live just so in case anybody's out there and wants to chit chat. I'm here. So today I wanted to talk about it's kind of like there is a worry that I'm asking for too much. And you may have heard that in childhood. Oh, don't you go asking for that. We can't afford that. And so now that we are all adults, I want you to make enough money that you can actually afford what you want. So you're in perfect hands. Go ahead and get comfortable. I want you to learn how to ask for what you want, what you need in a way that the universe is listening and understands it. And your partner, your job, your career, your boss hears what you want, understands what you want, and can deliver that to you because they want to. They really do. They want to be successful in showing up in your presence. I know, crazy, huh? To give you what you want. And if they're not successful because they didn't get enough information from you, they're not going to want to do it anymore. It's no fun to play. So let me give you some scenarios. What if you were married and you wanted a nice birthday that you haven't experienced for a couple years? Now your significant other wants to give you the birthday that you want, but it's just like, "Oh, I want to do something different. I want to do something more," or "I don't care," whatever you think. They don't know. They care, but they can't care any more than you care to give them the information that is needed for them to set something up successfully. I remember, gosh, 15 years ago, lady in my office, married 10 years, 2 kids. And she said, "My husband has never done anything for me on my birthdays. He's never done anything for me." So, married for 10, probably together for 12 years. And he's never done anything. And let's just say, because she's not lying, but it could have been, a little exaggerated. Maybe he hasn't. But the first birthday while they were dating, checking each other out, that is the time where you set up a boundary, where you actually educate that person so that they know what your needs are going to be. Because if he didn't know, and if we don't verbally say it, he ain't going to know. But if we don't verbally say it so that he can understand it and go out and do it and be successful, whose fault is it, my friend? That's right. It's yours. So let's just say I went out with Bob. We've been together for a month or so, just getting along. And my birthday is in September. So maybe next month I'll say to him, "Oh, when is your birthday? What do you like to do for your birthday? How would you like to be treated on your birthday?" And I'm going to listen. I may even kind of in my mind take notes, maybe even later write it down. And then I'm going to say to him, "Well, Bob, I like to be spoiled. I would love to go to Santa Cruz one weekend, even Tahoe. And if I was in a relationship and our schedule was tight, then I'd want for him to look at me and look at our schedule and say, what weekend, because your birthday weekend is busy, that I can spoil you." And I'll be like, "Oh, how about the weekend before, the weekend after that?" Now, I've already gave him 2 ideas of what I would want, and I may just say even, "I would like for you to hand me a envelope with $1,000 and say, 'Where can you spend it today?' And it's all for you, not for the kids or well, yeah, not for the kids because 'cause we're just dating now." But you see that I'm giving him really good, clear information so he can actually say, "I could do that," or, "Yeah, no, I don't want to." And we would have stopped dating if that was important to me. So do you see that in dating is when we really open up, use our words, and let them know what our standards are. Because the right person, I'm never going to ask for too much. At work, if I don't work on weekends, I'm going to be very detailed in Saturdays and Sundays. I am unavailable. And it may feel uncomfortable because we're used to hemming and hawing and saying, "I really don't want to." Well, yeah, um, but that's weak. I could actually get you to work a weekend if you're showing up with that sentence that's so loose. I try not to work weekends. Well, yeah, I can change that. But if you state it, so do you see a confident person, successful person will know what he or she wants and deliver it with clean, precise, detailed information. So there's no ifs and buts about it. So is this some of this kind of making sense? And just think about it for a moment. And if you're watching this recording, just pause it. Maybe write down a few times where you asked somebody to do something, but you kind of played it small. And if you played it small and they see it as small, then it's easier for them to say no or maybe later. Because in life, I want you to be happy. And if you and I were out for dinner right now and a waiter showed up and said, "What would you guys like to eat?" I'm not going to look at him knowing that we're out for dinner. Look at him and say, dinner. Hello. I want dinner. Because that's not detailed enough. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I want hamburger fries, no mayonnaise. Okay. So do you see I was clean, clear, not a lot of excess, so that he, the waiter, could go and take care of it and come back with really what I want. And this is relationship. This is with your kids. I had a lovely session with a client today. And she said it's like her 12-year-old kind of called her out because she said, "Mommy, when are you going to do this for me?" And mom said, "I don't know." Because a lot of times we'll do that quick, fast response because we're not present enough. And her daughter said, "But mommy, you always answer it that way." And that's why it becomes a problem. And she's just like, "Oh, you're right." So when somebody is talking to you, listen, ask questions. When you're talking to somebody, answer, speak of what you really want. So there's no missing pieces of the page. Could you imagine if I asked you to come over and said, I have a IKEA dresser to put together and I cut out every other page? Yeah, because it's just like it's 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 going in that order so that we could be successful at the end. But if I'm not fully engaging with you and I'm missing pages of details that you would need in order to finish something or help me with something, it'd be like me handing you over a IKEA, like 17 pages, and every other page is missing. So are you starting to pay attention and realize, like, wait a minute, my style of communication is going to bring me forward into life and more success, or it is going to reduce my success down, make my life more confusing. And most of what I'm looking for, asking for, won't have the information enough to make them successful with me or for me to be happy with the outcome. I've been doing this for so long that really it is not how they are handling it, but how are you setting up your goals, and language is everything. Language is art. It is detailed. It helps everybody involved. It's important, needed, mandatory. Can you do better? Probably. Can I do better? Absolutely. It's to be more conscious, pay attention, be vulnerable enough to say, yes, this is important to me. Now, for instance, again, if I was married and his birthday's coming up next weekend, I say, what every year, 10 years, what do you want to do for your birthday? And he's going to say, you know me. Well, yeah, I know you, but do I listen? That might be the kicker part. I just want to come home, have a nice couple drinks, grill a really good steak, and have your twice baked potatoes. Have a quiet evening, not a lot going on. Now, he may have said that to me for 10, 12 years, but I think it'd be better for him, for his family, for my family to come over, for the neighbors to come over. So we're going to barbecue. We're going to have some drinks. I'll make my twice baked potatoes, but there's going to be about 12, 15 of us. So what I did is I listened to him and I really didn't care. And so that's another style of communication. I know what he wants. He may even tell me in detail, but maybe I'm not listening well enough and I want to what, make him more happy or dress it up more? Or I think I know more and better than what he would even begin to know how he would want his birthday evening. I work with a lot of couples and I hear these stories. And I'm like, you can have your friends and family over, his side, your side, the neighbors. But if he has a specific request, he gets that done to the T. If you have a specific request, I want to go to Santa Cruz, I want to go to Tahoe, I want to go shopping, then he's not going to just take me to the closest mall and think that he hit it home. So maybe again, I'm not asking for too much. I haven't elicited in him the desire to want to listen and to be successful. Now, every human, I'll throw some money down on this one. Every human wants to be successful with you. And if they're not, it just might be a you thing. And it's the words. It's the detail. A An amazing friend of mine years ago, Mike, he said whenever he's dating somebody and it's getting close to their birthday, Valentine's, whatever. He's like, "Okay, so what do you want?" And that is just so point blank, "What do you want?" And it's just like, "Ouch." Um, I actually have to tell you what I want. Can't I just beat around the bush? And he's like, "You want a real nice purse? I'll go get it. Tell me which one. You want a car? I'll make it happen. You wanna fly to Vegas? Let's set it up. But tell me what you want, because I wanna be successful, and I can't just pull an idea out of the air and land it in front of you and be successful." Because his mind and a female's mind are opposite. So it's very difficult at times to know that you've got to speak your truth, speak your mind, say really what you want. And if it feels a little more than what you actually feel like you deserve, then we'll have a few phone calls. But what you want, if it is capable of materializing, then have the courage to ask for it, to show up deserving it, to be enough for yourself so that you can ask for enough so you can be happy. Now, my mom and dad, they're passed. They were married until the end. But my dad said to me one time years back, he said, "I'd buy your mom something for her birthday or for Christmas, but I've never bought anything that she's ever liked. So why would I keep trying?" And I was young at the point. So I thought to myself, well, that makes sense, because he's not going to keep trying, guessing, putting himself out there unless he has enough information to make my mom happy. So he stopped. My mom, I guess, bought her own stuff or didn't get a birthday or a Christmas gift from him, which when you think about it is quite sad. I wish my mom would have educated my dad. I wish my dad would have been able to ask for more information, but they just didn't. So I grew up not seeing a dad spoil a wife. So maybe that's why at times things like this are so important to me, because I don't want to live a life where I meet up with somebody and say, "Oh, it's okay. It's no big deal. It's not like a big 40 or 50 or 60 or something. It's on a Tuesday. Don't even worry about it." I'm not going to play it down thinking that they can play it down. Why? Why are they going to play it down? Because they listened. So again, take a couple deep breaths. I wish my parents would have modeled a stronger marriage so that I could have seen the give and take, the back and forth, that I would have seen a dad out at the store trying to get away from my mom for a few minutes or go to town on his own and figure it out. I would love to have seen that. It would have been normal. So when I get a gift from a guy, I almost like, "Oh my god," I was like, wanna pass out unless I remember that this is normal stuff. A client of mine years ago, her husband bought her a white purse. Nobody liked the white purse. No one liked it. But he thought she was gonna love it. So on Fridays, she would change into the white purse. And then on Sundays, she would change out of the white purse. So because she didn't want to take it to work. A couple times she was in a rush, hurry, and took the purse, the white purse, to work. And the girls in the office is like, "Oh, the purse." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's quite ugly. But I want my husband to feel good and proud of himself for buying something for me." And so then she learned, I helped her to educate him on, "Oh, I really love that brown purse. Oh, I really love this style." So that he would, next time he wanted to buy a purse or a perfume, I like the more of a rosy. So I always tell my girlfriends, "You see anything that has a rosy scent to it, I'll probably love it." And then he'll be able to pick up this information and he'll be successful in her eyes. So I would love to get some comments on this because I'm here trying to get your mind to open up, to listen to different viewpoints, different ways of showing up in your life so that you can be stronger and you can be more successful. So you are not asking for too much. You're just not showing up strong enough. So what you want is not landing in that person's space, and there's no real container for them to actually get it. And a lot of people just don't listen to each other anymore. We'll work on that with the next session. Um, Give me some questions when you watch this. Subscribe, please. Of course, like. Any ideas on what you'd like me to talk about next time? And right now I'm doing a lot of tarot cards. Now these tarot cards that I have quite a few. Of course, I'm an overachiever at times, but there's tarot cards that will help put into words um what your past, present, and future is. So it's very valuable. Secondly, I have another set of cards that will open up different modalities that I have studied. So I can go in with a modality to whatever we're working on and clear it out. And then also, I am sure you have seen these dowsing rods. They're made out of copper. Copper is a conduit. And how can these, and sometimes in my sessions it's kind of fun to play with them, but you get them where this is neutral and then no steps out and yes goes in. Now, how can something like this respond if I say, "Do I live in California?" It's going to say yes. How? And let me explain, because energy and humans is just quite fascinating. My body already knows the answer. Your body already knows the answer, whether we like the answer or not. So I haven't done this. I can actually just look at a pregnant woman and tell her if it's a boy or a girl. But her body would know, the spirit around her would know. And so the energy is being moved by the frequency, by energy. And I would pretty much always bet on rods, on cards, on the channeling, the energy work that I do. When you start to get involved in all of this, it's quite fascinating. It helps you understand that you can change, you're supposed to, that you can empty out so much that you can hear your intuition, your higher knowingness, you can hear energy because your body talks to you. Nonverbal, of course. And I'm sure that you've looked over at your dog that's just looking at you and you know what your dog wants. It's talking to you nonverbal. And I could sit here for 2 hours talking about when our energy, which is shifting now and changing now, starts to become more aligned with the Palladians and the UFO world, the ET world, we communicate with them non-verbally. So if I was you, I'd be practicing my non-verbal skills of listening, of exchanging. I've been able to read people for ever since I was 15. And even my oldest daughter, when she was like 4 or 5 months old, nonverbal, she wouldn't eat this, she wouldn't eat this, she wouldn't eat this. And I'm finally like, "What do you want?" Because normally you don't ask a 9-month-old, "What do you want?" And I think I said it out loud or inside, "What do you want to eat?" And I heard her say, without non-verbally, I heard her say, "Spaghetti." So I looked through my jars, I had a baby spaghetti, and she ate it. Yeah. Um, Again, I'll leave you with this because I can talk for hours. But I want, if you are interested, to get more into the energy world. Now, every Wednesday from 7 to 8:30, I teach mind mastery, coaching circle with some really deep healing, advanced meditations for all levels. I kind of love what I do. Website Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, private sessions, one-on-one sessions, um, retreats up in Northern California. I'm going to take care of everything for you. All you have to do is say, "Hey, Diane, I want some work done," and we'll figure out what is going to help you create a stronger, better life. There's a lot going on in this world. We all know this. And when things start to get a little rough, we get stronger and we get more developed. So if this is ringing any of your bells, please reach out to me and thank you.